Hey everybody! Welcome back to the Belly Blossom. On this series, I take you week by week through a pregnancy journey. Each week, I'm going to talk about physical changes, psychological challenges, and tips and tricks and experiences that will help you along in your pregnancy. Welcome to week 2. This week we're talking all about ovulation. Your period is over, your hormones are stabilizing, and now it's time for the follicle to finish maturing in order to release the egg. At the end of week 2, a hormone called luteinizing hormone plays the greatest role in ovulation. It allows the egg to finish maturing, and it weakens the outside of the follicle wall, enabling the egg to go through. Luteinizing hormone has a dramatic increase, which is called the LH surge. And 12 to 24 hours after this surge, the egg is finally released out of the ovary into the fallopian tube. So there are multiple ways to test for ovulation timing. The first and most basic way is to just chart your menstrual cycle. Ovulation is likely to happen in the middle of your cycle. So, if your cycle's 28 days, it will happen on day 14. The second most common way to chart ovulation is through the luteinizing hormone surge. You can test for luteinizing hormone in the urine. So when you're getting closer to the middle of your cycle, around day 10, start to test your urine for the LH surge. It is not recommended to use the first pee of the day, as it could be over-concentrated. As well, if you're drinking liters and liters of water, it would be diluted. Each strip comes individually packaged, and it came with little urine cups to dip the strip in. So to do the test, you dip the strip into the urine for at least 5 seconds. There is a maximum line, so do not dip it in the urine below that line. You then lay the test strip flat, and the results will be present between 3 and 8 minutes. There will always be at least one line, which is the control line, indicating that the test is working properly. If you are having a luteinizing hormone surge, there will be a second line that appears, and it should be just as dark as the control line. So if the test was not positive and you're not having an LH surge, test it again the next day. If it was positive and you do have an LH surge, it's likely that the egg will be released within 24 hours. These luteinizing hormone tests were extremely helpful for me. I thought that I was ovulating on day 14 of my cycle, when I actually was ovulating on day 13, which meant that I was often missing the fertilization period time. The eggs are only fertile between 12 to 24 hours after they are released. This is a really short window. On the contrary, sperm lives for quite a lot longer time in the woman's reproductive system, for 5 to 7 days. So if you're trying to get pregnant, it's best to have intercourse when you have your LH surge and on the day that you're likely to be ovulating, and maybe a day after. Another tip that I've been told is don't have intercourse every single day. So give your partner's sperm time to rebound, taking a day break in between. Another way to identify ovulation is through cervical mucus. The cervical mucus during ovulation helps for the sperm to travel up the reproductive system to the egg. During ovulation, the cervical mucus will have a clear and slippery consistency, resembling egg whites. If the cervical mucus is sticky or cloudy or not present at all, it doesn't indicate a good sign of ovulation. The last form to identify ovulation is through basal body temperature. Basal body temperature is the lowest body temperature in a 24-hour period. It's best to be tested after you've been sleeping for at least 4 hours. Your body's at rest and cool. You take the temperature with a digital thermometer even before you get out of bed and move, Once you start moving, your temperature will rise again. The most accurate way to test it is in the vaginal canal, but some women also will test in their mouth. There is a very small increase in basal body temperature 24 hours before ovulation happens. This increase is 0.2 to 0.4 degrees. If you're using basal body temperature as a form of finding out when you ovulate, it's essential to chart. Charting your temperature and being consistent is essential for accurate results. It's recommended that you test your temperature every day at the same time for at least 2 to 3 months. That way you will know when your temperature increases, and within 24 hours you will be ovulating. There are psychological challenges that come with ovulation. Of course, trying to have a baby is a lot different than just enjoying intercourse. It feels more like business. If you've been trying for a few months, or you think you're having fertility issues, this can also be extremely psychologically challenging. If you've been trying for close to a year, get in contact with your doctor. It could be helpful for them to consult you to a fertility specialist. Also, for psychological support, look into support groups in your area, talk to friends and family, because likely you will know somebody who's been going through the same thing that you are. It's just unfortunately not talked about all that much. One product that we found helpful was called Pre-Seed, and it's a lubricant that helps the sperm to travel through the reproductive system. I'll link it below so you can check out the pricing and details. So I hope week 2 goes well for you. And don't forget to have some fun. If you have questions, comment below, and I'll see you next week on the Belly Blossom.